Oh dear. Oh dear. Just getting set up, everyone. Forgot to do. So I'll be on here for about an hour and a half, maybe. If all goes well. So today I am adding the feet to the frame. And I have a couple of other things to do too. So ready to rock here now. I'm just gonna get my gloves ready. I have to modify them because of my sore finger. The sore thumb. Well, no, we could go today. So I need to be careful that the stitches get too wet. Because these gloves are kind of damp. So today what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Do you see these sharp bits off the frame? The way they come out quite pointy. I'm going to remove about 10 mil. There's another reason behind it why I'm doing it too, but the frame doesn't really fit on the powder coating oven. So that's the idea. It fits in, but it's just a wee bit too tight. So if I remove 10 mil from this end and 10 mil from this end, it will allow it to fit into the oven perfectly. When that's complete, I'm going to move on, start drilling the holes for the feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 on these stabilising bars. So rather than, what do we see? I'll get the feet here. If I can find them, I don't know, there's one lying about somewhere in my pocket here. So, that I have found, well, purchased one of them, 6 of them. There's a bag of them. These little boys here. So, they're quite tidy. So the idea is to have an adjustable foot at each point on this frame. Okay, and also on the stabilizer here. I'm going to leave these adjustable, but rather than tap the frame, I'm going to add a rivet nut instead, because it will keep the foot nice and square to the frame, and also it's what do we see if I can get one here? So rather than tap the frame, I'm going to use a rivet nut. So So it'll just be much tidier, much more professional than, well, tapping the frame and expecting this to stay straight. It's not even that. I'm applying 4 coats of powder coat to the frame. So there will be a zinc coat, a base coat, which will be white. And the reason I'm using that white base coat is for the candy colour that I have selected for this project, which is a candy purple. Once the candy purple is applied to this frame, that's the 3rd coat. Then the 4th coat will be the lacquer. So again, what I've done here is I'm going to town. Rather than just like applying one coat on, one base coat, one flat coat or one gloss, I'm just going to go overboard and do this a nice candy colour. So it should look really well at the end up. So the whites to make the candy stand out, okay? So let's get started. I have another video to do after this one. Just going to get this other camera ready off here for the main video. So candy purple, it's not going to be done orange, it's not going to be done yellow like the earlier plan. Right, let's set these things down and get started. So it's fun not to destroy the stick. It's also glued, so you need to be careful. So the plan is now to cut these sharp ends off 10 mil in. So I'm just going to mark them with the verniers. My good verniers. Look, I can feel my fingers. Then finally, what I do, usually, is I make the scribe or that scribe part deeper with a Stanley blade. Should have had one of these ready. Just put the earphones on. So this is nearly ready to be powder coated. Very near. Need to give it a final blast. Mad motorbikes out there today. Okay, so much tidier. Much tidier than pointed. At least it'll fit in the oven now. So we'll continue on. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up. Oh, the pocket. Okay, so the next step here is drilling the holes for the feet. So I won't be tapping these, I'll be using rivet nuts. So it's looking really beautiful. No half jobs here. Right. So what I'm going to do here now is, let's set this other camera up. So my next step here, I get to take a stumble off. The next step now is measuring in from this side, this side, this side, this side, and this side, and this side, and placing the mark in the centre. So I'll do that now with the verniers again. I can find them. Just going to check my hand here a minute. So I will be using rivet nuts. I won't be tapping the frame, and I won't be using oil because the oil would interfere with the powder coating, and I don't want it cleaning it. So yeah, no oil, be sorting the drill bits, but it's only mild steel, it's not stainless. So I'll just be careful with them. Right. Keep them off, huh? So we're going to mark in 20 mil because the box section is 40. Oh, get the bits away. So now 20.5, and the reason that I'm going to 20.5 from this face into the centre is, the reason it's a half a mil lower is to allow for this radius, because when the vernier is at a slope, you need to add a bit more. Oh, come on. That's it. These ones will just do big. So, centre punch now. Watch me thumb, my sore thumb. Okay. Stabilizers now. That's it. So the first little size that I will start off with here is about 4 millimeter. Using oil because I don't want oil near the frame because that's going to be powder coated. Sorry, I just like to keep the place clean as I go here. Right. So I'm just going to bring the frame up close, or I'll take the phone up to the frame, that will make more sense. So we have the little center punched drills here now. So they're going to be now drilled out to 9mm. But I just want to point out, do you see the way I have dressed the welds here? Dressed the welds like this is because when I powder coat the frame now, you won't see the welds. It'll just be basically a radius, you know, like a curve. You'll not see any humps or bumps or any dips. So that's the plan. I also have to flatten this one yet. And I'm also gonna flip this over. So it will be done candy purple, as I say. You see this weld in here? Although it's not rough, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it into a nice curve so you won't see it. It'll be completely just a smooth surface, and you'll see a dark candy running in there, and you might see it looking light here. Okay, I'm going to stop the candy on this face, and I will probably need to clean this. I can put tape on it. I have high temperature tape that I can keep the powder out of these gaps. Okay, so this curve, this is run with the grinder. I still need to hit this with a dual action. Some of these welds could be hit with a rotary sander too. It's sitting there, look. It's more aggressive than the dual action. So if I was to put a dual action near this weld, although the welds are neat, there's nothing wrong with them. I want the welds completely removed. So basically you'll just see like a concave effect. Okay, so when this tube's running into this face, you won't see any dips in this because I have it properly dressed to allow for that. So it doesn't happen. So there we have that weld. This one now is started. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on here. So in the live stream that will follow later on, okay, I have to make I'll just demonstrate that now when I'm here. So here's my oven, my DIY oven. So at the minute, at the back here, we have two heating elements. I had to remove my big heavy plate in order for this frame to fit into the oven. So if I grab this frame now, and I'll put this on the stand, right, and I'll just show this. So I'm just going to show this. I'll bring this up nice and high. Just bear with me, I'm going to lift the frame into the oven, right? Don't forget to give me the thumbs up. A wee bit of support. So, there's two ways I can hang this in the oven. I could hang it upside down, or I could hang it the way it's going to be positioned on the ground. So this is the way I'm going to mount it, okay? So I'll bring the phone up close here. So here is see how much room, there's not much room around it. It's because it's so long. So see the two elements at the back that I have attached to my oven. This frame, if I was to have the frame the other way around, the temperature would be too much at the top, up here at this point, because the plate's removed. So the heat's not really evenly dispersed around the oven. The plate's removed to allow this to fit into the oven. So see this tracking system? This is something I designed, right? And I designed these wee play wheels. And basically, see that tracking system over under? That connects onto the oven, right? And then it connects onto my powder coating booth. So I can slide this frame. I will be able to slide this frame from my powder coating booth 4 times to the oven. So later on in the live stream, I will demonstrate how I'm going to hang this this piece to this poly wheel, so that won't be hard. But I don't want to interfere with this because that's for car rims. So that's a design for a car rim, but I don't want to cut it off. I would prefer threads up at this point, but I don't have threads at this point. So usually this oven was designed to do car wheels up to 24 inches or something. But so this is how you would hook the wheel on. This car over under, I powder coated these. I don't know why I'm showing this. I'll just see these wheels. They were powder coated in this oven, and the finish was far better than any wheel supplier could supply because I hung the wheels like this. And yeah, so we'll move on here. I don't want to talk on too much about the oven because this was going to come in another video. Okay, so let's get this thing back out of the oven here. It's kind of heavy. So as I say, I got them wheels done up by manufacturers in this country, and they were terrible. And that was twice, so I had to just build an oven myself to do them properly. Okay, so camera down nice and low now to do this. Just bear with me a minute. Oh. Have to work easier today because of my thumb. Right, setting up the other camera. Right, let's get ready here. So, what I'm going to do here now is start with a 4mm hole. I'm not going to be using any oil in a CT90 because even though it's great stuff, I can't use it for this. So I just have to... I'm also just going to confirm that these here wee dimples are in the right place. With the verniers. I just use my eye, but... the better using the eye just. Right. To make sure to get on the both view here. I would prefer something under here. Aye. Oh dear, I'm exhausted. I can't be stressing my hand out. Good job. So don't need to worry about the drill bit hitting anything because the box iron's cut at the other end. The box section. Just use my eye here to line this up. I can direct the hole by angling the drill, so if I need the hole to go this way, I just push the hole this way with the drill. or if I need to go have the hole out a bit. Alright. So I can't use get a drink of water here. So the stabilizers now, three of them. The motor hub, like the QS273, from falling over because the frame's quite narrow. I didn't want the frame too broad. Oh, that's good thought. How my steels fire user work with and stainless. Fire user. Right, on to a bigger size now. So I'll probably go to I might at least go out to 9, so I'll probably go can't go too close to 9, so I might go 6. 6.5. So the other stabilizer now. So this hole needs pushed this way a bit, so I'll just hold the drill on a wee angle to start off. So you can see how it's shifted over there. You're better to keep the drill going at a wee pace here, because if you go too slow, it'll only snag at the end. So let's get a look at these holes from this side. See if they're sort of centre. They are. Looks alright. Keeping the drill nice and straight. Looking good, looking good. Right. So I'm probably going to go with a 9 now straight away. Sitting on there. So that's the sign. Now on to the stabilizers. So I need to be careful here with the tube because the drill bit's getting bigger. You know what I mean? You better go a little bit faster here. A good jacks off, oh, shavings. Swart. So one more hole, and then I'm going to countersunk them. Then we're going to add the rivets. I just need to get the countersunk, but looks well. So the reason I countersunk those was to allow the rivet nut to sit down nice and flush with the box section and these tubes. So what do we see now? I have to countersunk them at this side too. We don't want any swart beside the rivet nuts. It would look rough. That's it, ready for the rivet nuts. So I'm going to take this jack back out of the way. What do we see? I'll go around this side now, it might be better. No, it's darker, isn't it? No, you know what? I'll just put it back where it was. Yeah, it's a heavy jack. Right. Right. Good job. Set up camera number 1, the most important one. Right. So the reason I didn't use oil to cut these holes is because you can imagine now I would need to wash the frame down with thinners or something before I attach these rivet nuts, these type. So if I was to heat the part up in the oven, the powder coating oven, the oil would weep out and it would completely destroy the finish of the powder coating around the rivet nuts. So that's the reason I didn't use any oil. So here is my rivet gun. She's a good yacht. Let's get the other camera set up here. Okay. So 6mm rivet nuts. And 1 for each stabilizer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's one done. Give it a good squeeze so it doesn't turn. Everything's much harder when you have an injury, so bear with me. So attaching the rivet nut to the gun. Giving it a good squeeze. Yeah. On to the third one. Give it a good wiggle on the hole, and the hole's tight. I'll try and show this cramping in. Yeah. Perfect. So it's starting to come together now. So the live stream in an hour's time will be on making the bracket to mount this into the oven. So I'll do one looking down on it. The camera's looking on it. So there's no oil now in there at all. It's nice and dry. Been there and worn a t-shirt, so I know my way about the powder coating. So here we go. Look at it's tight. There we go. One's good and tight too. So I've one left to do, I think. This one. So just the stabilizer now. So attaching the rivet nut to the gun. Don't forget to give the thumbs up. So looking down on it. Better than a tapped hole. When using these little feet. So I'm now going to screw these on. We need 6. But screw them on full for the meantime because we're demonstrating there. So that is much better than having a tapped hole in the box section because the box section is only 2.5 mil away. It's not only that, it's when I go to, when I go to apply the powder coat to this station, this piece, if I have a hole on the box section, the powder would enter the threads obviously, and let's say I was to put a bolt in there to keep the powder out of the threads. When I go to slacken the bolt, the stud or whatever I have on the hole would crack the powder around it. But if I use a rivet nut, this allows these little adjusters to be nice and straight and true to this box section. But it also, if you can imagine here, the threads is halfway down this rivet nut. They're not sitting proud at the top here, they're down. Way down a stud on there, and the powder, this hole's wider than 6 mil, it's about 7 mil, so a wee gap around it, so anything that I put in the hole will come away, and then I can run the tap down if need be on the rivet nut. But I don't think I will need to do that because I've used these before on items that I've been powder coating. So let's flip this over, making sure all these filings don't stick into the rubbers. There we go. On its rubber feet. So, one rubber foot there. I have a packet of them, so I've got a number of them. So, what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to continue on and grind these down nice and flat. So that when I powder coat this, all we'll see is a flat surface here. So there's the wee rubber feet. I'll take it out to the light here. We'll look at it from this side. I'll turn the solar camera off. So there we have the rivet nut crimped inside there. How did I get it out the light? The phone's not focusing. There we go. So I'll just blast everything in there and I'll shoot the powder up inside. So the inside of that box section's powder coated too. Okay. And let's say that I'm on the even ground and I want to test one of them heavy hubs, the QS273. What I'll do is I'll just adjust the feet to suit the ground I'm on. Okay. So, just a minute. I have one of them screwed out there. But on level ground, with all those 6 pieces screwed in, 6 rubbers, it should be nice and flat. So I'm going to put the camera on the stand. I need to continue on here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish up the frame, the tidying of it. So I'm going to bring everything onto the bench. I have to move all this stuff here. So I'm going to set the phone over here until I get set up. I'll put the camera up high. Oh. So, it turned out well there, considering I'm videoing it. Usually when you video something, it's a wee bit more tricky to do, believe it or not. Things can go wrong. But, I'm used to it. So I'll bring this up to here. have to move everything because I don't want the dust of the grindings into this. Put this back and I'll set everything over here. So once I have this grinded, this frame finished, I can make the other part later on at 3 o'clock. I don't know what time it is now, maybe it is close to 3 o'clock. Okay, so bring your bench back in now. The good thing now is I don't need the other camera running at all here. I don't need this. Right, maybe I might use that actually because the bench is wet. And maybe you might see better with this fitting on the bench. Oh, need to take a feet off. Right. So let's say, well, I don't think I will, but I could put lock nuts on these to lock these against the frame. Because the threads are kind of long enough, but I won't need to do that. I'd say they'll always be screwed in full, to be honest. Because when I'm testing any motor, I'll be sitting on a bench like this, or whatever. So we'll flip this over now. So the little edges that I cut off down here at this point look much better than they're running out now. So see this weld here now? I want this weld, even though if I was to blow powder this 4 coats, which I will be applying 4 coats to it, a zinc, a base coat, and what other ones powder I'm using? A candy. I've decided to use a candy powder, and I will be pasting a lacquer over the top of it. So that's 4 coats. If I was to place 4 coats of powder on this weld, it more than likely will look like a smooth finish because the weld's neat. But what I want to do here is I want to even this weld up a wee bit more and just use a flat disc. So we'll do that now before they finish this live stream. Don't need that rivet nut on there. I've got wee black caps for here too, once it's powder coat up. So I'm going to move this other camera out of the way, I don't want to get no grindings. I need my air respirator. So that's me ready to rock here. So I'm going to start off with these heavy plates. I'm going to also touch the weld here at the back of the plates. The rest of it's more or less done. And then the frame needs blasted for a final time because it's lay up for a week. I was actually meant to continue on with this frame last Sunday, but I put an axe under my thumb, rushing. So I'm glad I didn't do it on Sunday because my thumb wasn't up to it. Right. So focusing this weld first. We want to leave that weld like a nice round concave, sort of like that. Okay. I'm just trying to direct the grindings out the door, so. So using this part only, not touching this plate. Nothing wrong with this, just want to be more aggressive for the live stream. So, quick flushes, not holding the grinder at in the one spot. Also doing it the other way around too. I'll get something to set this up on here. I don't know what I'm going to get, but need something hard. Got a brick. This might be a better position here, you know. So I do really wish I was outside to do this because I don't like sparks in the garage, that's my style. This is the other side. Complete more or less. And up the rest together. Now you can start to go out the door. Try cutting the jar. Change the plan here. I'm going outside because I can't risk sparks hitting that car. So it's wild one day out here, right? But there's not much I can do. And there's going to be wet too. Right, okay. So the welder's against me today again. And the phone nearly went there and lucky I went out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start the other live stream after tea. So in this live stream today, what I done was drilled the holes, added the rivet nuts. Everything's ready for powder coating. So I've cut these off too, removed the slant that ran down here at 45 degrees. I removed the point. I started to grind the welds because I don't want the welds to show up in the powder coating at all. So it'll basically, this tube will just run onto the box section with a nice curve rather than seeing any bump. This is sort of the idea I'm looking for here, without digging into this plate or this plate, leaving a nice concave, like a nice curve between the two faces. So thanks for watching everyone, and thanks for the haters for watching too, because I know there's a lot of them on there. Goodbye.